Really?
Maybe a little longer. Mrs. St. George.
Oh.
There was like 4 yard sales on that street because it's like a dead end road. So we went down there.
Oh, yeah, when are we doing our yard sale?
I told you, Vera.
I don't know.
Where are you putting for me?
I'm having one this weekend. I gotta come and get my license this weekend.
How about your yard sale, your community yard sale?
Yeah, how about it, Laura? Wasn't just mine. I did. Put her finger at me so I could take the blame. The weekend that we had planned
That's the
for
buck.
Oh, we are live.
weekend that all of it, I was gone.
I still have a lot of stuff, so whenever somebody says let's
I
do
just
this.
need a week before.
Diana can't wait, she's having it without
I'm
you
gonna
guys.
make one this weekend. I can't wait.
Well, Lulu, I know how you can earn some money. There's a house on 517 that needs a.
I'm gonna. Nothing comes up really now.
That we still have to do our roof.
I don't know if you can
Diane's
do the
fault.
roof.
No, Logan, I had
That's my fault. We want a new roof in the front of our house, and it's your fault. You showed us how nice it was. See how you are?
Are you gonna get
That's a lot of work.
I don't know when he's gonna start. I don't know if him and Fred talked about a date or what, I don't know. I think he had one, he was doing one in Sunnyside, right after you were
doing my mom's right now?
Huh?
He's doing my mom's right now.
Oh, is that where he is? Oh,
Yeah,
so-
because I asked him when he was gonna do yours. He said that you guys didn't give him a date.
I didn't even really talk to him, but I'll tell Fred to go talk to him.
Okay, 7 o'clock, guys.
Okay, 7 o'clock.
Okay, I'm ready.
We're gonna call this city council meeting to order for Tuesday, June 8th, 2021 at 7 PM. We stand for the national anthem.
I'm not singing.
This is how we sing the national anthem.
Ready, begin.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
We're gonna take a moment of silence, but I want to just read something real quick for this. Before I was elected, well, after I was elected, but before I became mayor, a really good friend of mine that sort of pushed me to do this, had a little sticky note and brought it to me. And I come across it the other day and I thought, you know, what she told me was completely true. So I just want to read it to you. My friend was Oping Hudson. So it says, sometimes the future changes quickly and completely, and we're left with only the choices of what to do next. We can choose to be afraid of it, stand there and tremble and not move, assuming the worst that can happen, or we can step forward into the unknown and assume it will be brilliant. And so I just want to put that out there with our moment of silence. For anybody out there that, you know, people say you can't do something, you can. It's you and what you're wanting to do and willing to do on anything you want to do in life. And so I'd like to take a moment of silence with that. Thank you. Roll call.
Councilmember Castaneda.
Here.
Councilmember Sotelo.
Here.
Councilmember Gorno.
Here.
Councilmember Zavala.
Here.
Councilmember De La Fuente.
Here.
Thank you. We need to vote in the meeting agenda, please.
I make a motion to approve the agenda with adding B, authorizing the mayor to sign, accept coronavirus local fiscal recovery funds from the Federal Administration Rescue Plan Act in the amount of $633,108.
Seconded.
I have a motion by Mark, seconded by Vera. All in favor? Any opposed? Motion approved. Now we need to vote in the consent agenda, please.
I make a motion to approve the consent agenda.
No, we skipped.
Sorry, I did. Okay, we have a motion by Mark, seconded by Judy. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion approved. I sort of skipped visitors' comments. Not used to having visitors. Do we have anybody waiting online for visitors' comments, Jameson?
We do not have anyone to make comments.
Okay, thank you. Do we have any comments here? Okay, so we'll move on. Okay, so we'll go to, there is no old business. We'll go to new business. First thing on new business is approval of resolution number 2021-10, authorizing application for the regional mobility grant and for the mayor to sign. And so this is for the park and ride, the first big part of money that we've received. And so we can get things rocking and rolling.
I make a motion to approve resolution number 2021-10, authorizing the application for the regional mobility grant and mayor to sign it.
I second the motion.
You have a motion by Mark, seconded by Diana. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion approved. And then we have B, authorizing the mayor to accept the Corona Local Physical Recovery Funds from the Federal American Rescue Plan Act, ARPA, in the amount of $633,108.
I make a motion to authorize the mayor to accept coronavirus local fiscal funds from ARPA in the amount of $633,108.
I'll second it.
I have a motion by Mark, seconded by Sophie. All in favor?
Aye.
Any opposed? Motion approved. Staff meetings, staff reports. Sylvia,
No, I did not.
nothing to, Jameson,
I do not have
Yeah,
anything to report.
talk about? No? Okay. Staff, you guys, council, you have anything to talk about?
The well, have you found anything out about the well?
Well, well 5 is back online. Well 6 is still offline, and he's arguing with them. That's all I can tell you right now. They're having a problem if this is warranted or not, and so we feel it's warranted. So there's just a dispute on that, and so nothing's going to be done until we know exactly who's going to be liable to pay for it, because it's going to be spendy. So we feel that they should have to take care of that. And
So now what happened with the well again? Has it been told to everybody?
so the last week we had a well problem. We had a pump problem. Our pump, one of the fans went out cooling the main frame system, and so it put it into overheat, and so the pump, that thing went out. So we called the people that come fix it. They come and fixed it, and so it was fixed like the day after, right? That we found out, the problem. But then it just took a couple days to get the wells built back up in water. But I want to thank the citizens and the people here, because everybody really did crack down. We put out there, please don't use the water unless you really need to use your water. And they really did listen, because we had really good pressure within 2 days. And years past, it would take a week, sometimes longer, to get that pressure back up. But the citizens really did listen. And so it's really nice.
Well, probably too.
Mhm, yeah. And
So
so
did-
that well,
Did it ruin a motor or something, burn something else?
and well, okay, the problem was with that was well 5.
Okay.
So when we lost pressure, we was down to only using one well 4. That's why we lost our pressure. Well 5 is now working. Well 6 is still down. Well 6, something happened with the pump as well, something in the motor part itself, and it wasn't pumping the water up. And so they had to pull it all out. Now, well 6 is the one, if you remember that when we first put it in, we'd only had it online. Right after I come on as mayor, we had to shut the well off because of all the sand getting in. That's the same well.
That's a new well.
Okay, that's the one they're working on right now.
Mm.
And so, and so I guess Jamin is here. Hi, Jamin. So you want to just sort of fill him in a little bit about well 6? I didn't realize you was here. Thank you for popping in. We can't hear you. Jameson?
It's not on our side. It's something with him.
Okay, it's something with you. Okay, 2 minutes. Okay.
We don't know how to read sign.
He's gonna call in, so then.
I know.
Yeah, anyway, so it's a new well, so
Yeah,
it should be
it's
under
well-
warranty.
It's well 7, so, but he can let you guys know more than I know.
So do we have 4 running right now also?
4 and 5 are running. And it should keep us, you
Yeah,
know.
'cause 4 puts out more water than 6
Right.
ever did,
Well, 4 puts out about 3 times the water
right?
that 6 does,
So that's
so.
when,
Between 4 and 5, we're
as
all
long as
right.
we're okay.
Yeah,
Those-
as long as nobody starts filling up big swimming pools, we'll be okay, you know.
Well, they ain't.
There's not much of those around.
No.
It's
Can't even
storms
find
or
'em.
nothing.
That's what my daughter said. She said,
Right.
"Someone all over
Buy
looking for a
more.
pool, we can't find
Yeah.
anywhere."
Buy more
I just-
today, they have
I
them in
haven't-
big boxes.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
My daughter, she wants to buy one, I'm like, oh, I don't know. I don't wanna
Oh,
do
sorry,
that.
we're still, okay, no chit chat, guys. So,
Go ahead, Jamin.
All right, does this work? Can you guys hear me now?
yeah, we can hear you. Can you turn it up a little,
Okay.
Jameson? Okay, there we go.
All right, I don't know what the deal is. Does that work? My microphone usually works, so I'm not sure what the issue is. Can you hear me now?
Yeah, we can
Okay.
hear you.
Okay, I was getting some crazy feedback, and so it's hard to talk when there's feedback screaming in your ear. So yes, I'm happy to give an update on any of the well issues.
Yeah, well,
Were you
well,
guys-
6.
Well 6, yes. So there was an issue with well 6. We were fortunately still within the warranty period. We were at 22 months of a 24-month warranty period. The contractor pulled it out. They took it back to their shop. They took it apart and did an analysis, sent it back and said, no, this isn't warranty. Here's the bill. We have been going back and forth with them. I don't want to get into too much detail because it's an ongoing discussion. But they've been doing some initial analysis, and I am liking the direction it's going. So we will hopefully have a resolution. I've been reminding them regularly. I think the guy I was working with was on vacation last week, and so I've emailed him today, and I'm hoping we will be able to have final clarity on the issue pretty soon and get that back up and going. But at this point, we're still asserting that it's a warranty issue. I haven't seen any evidence yet that it's not a warranty issue. And so I think that's where we're at. Does that make sense?
Okay, yep, I think that
I'm
makes
being a little circumspect on the details because it's still an ongoing we're having an ongoing discussion, and I'm being a little circumspect on the details about it, but we should know sooner than later about how this is going to go, and hopefully get it back up and running, which will be good in time for summer.
All right, yep. And then, keep going. Well 7 is completely funded. Where is that going? Where's that at?
Yeah, absolutely. Great question. So right now we're in the process of completing the environmental review. We've held off on starting the design with too much rigor until the environmental review is complete. The funding agency won't reimburse the city's expenses on it until the environmental is done. And so we got through the tribal review. We're at the environmental paperwork now, and so we should be getting through that soon, and hopefully kicking off the actual design of the drilling soon. That well will likely go somewhere near the other wells. The location hasn't been determined yet. I want to work with the hydrogeologists on that. But it could be located near the wells in terms of the location at the surface. The actual depth of this well is going to be significantly different than the other wells. It's going to be a much shallower well, because that's what the city's new water rights are for. So our anticipation is to drill that. Sorry, actually, look at schedule a little bit. Our anticipation is to drill that well probably this fall, or early next year, depending on how bid prices are looking. We've seen some really wild bid prices right this year. Kind of the follow-up to a pandemic year is kind of a crazy year, and then hopefully go into equipping next year, which is where you put the pump and the generator and the motor and the building and all of that in place.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Or any questions? That's the quick version.
When we get that well up, will we shut down a well, or will we use all of them, or how will that work?
I think I would highly recommend that the city continue to use all their wells. I think just given the where the city's at, all the water sources are important. You have a water source goes down. It's nice to have backups. At that point, you might consider not running them all the time. Right now, you run them all whenever there's a need for water. We might kick it to like a lead lag situation. But yeah, you'll certainly want all your water sources.
Thank you.
Any other questions, guys? I think that's it. While I have him up, we will be starting. Okay, go ahead, Judy.
This has nothing to do with the wells, but it does. Can you hear me? It has to do with the fire pump. Is that hooked up to run at any given time?
No, the fire pump is manual only. The existing control system really didn't continue to run it automatically, and so we did not propagate. We just propagated that forward, where the fire pump is there in an emergency. The concern being, and this is why we had the discussion of whether we really wanted that to be automatic or not. And the concern with having that be automatic is if the city's water pressure is that low, turning on the fire pump will drain it all the way to zero, versus if it continues at a low pressure, it will help conserve what water there is and give the city more time to respond, get the tank filled back up.
I'm just wondering because when they're building, adding on to the new school over here on Washington, and they wanted to have a flow test on them, and we went out, and I think the most that we could get out was 800 gallons per minute, and they were wanting, I think, 1,000. And so the fire chief asked me about that fire pump, if it worked, and I was told that I wanted to talk to one of the guys, and they didn't know anything about it. And
Yeah.
I said, well, I'll call Jamie and ask him, if that's hooked up, or are we out of luck if we do have a big fire that we can't use it.
It is still hooked up. It's just not automatically controlled. It's a manual operation. The thing that should help, two quick points. The thing that should help now is the city's new reservoir situation means that water is at a higher pressure, and there's a lot more water at a higher pressure. Point number two is, I believe, and I'll have to check again, but our scope for the water system plan, I believe, includes testing some hydrants to update the city's water system modeling, and so that should give us some, new hydrant testing results. Kind of look at how the city's fire flow situation is now with the new configuration.
Yeah, Luke and I went out and we checked all the hydrants from Lance clear over to Highway 241.
Mm-hmm.
We checked all of those. We did a flow test on them. So, but he was asking me if that fire pump was working, and I have no idea.
So,
Because when I worked, I had to test it at least once a month to see if it was running, but I didn't know if it was
Right.
still on or not.
Well, it's still there. I believe that some of the valves may have been leaking, so the water was flowing back around through the pump, and so some of the valves I think are shut. But the pump's still there. You know, don't want to take any pumps out. We don't have to.
Okay.
Does that make sense? Any other questions on that, or I think the mayor's already talked about the issue with well 5 last week.
yes, I did.
Yep.
Any questions, guys? You're all good? Okay, and then, the Washington Street, do you know when that's gonna be starting? They said somewhere the end of this month, right? Something like that? In
I
June?
think it's in July. It's in July. It's a smaller contractor in that the owner is also the one running the work, and so they do one job at a time, and I think that they're lined up to be in Mapton in July.
Okay.
Which should be good.
Yeah.
We're working with this contractor a lot this year. He's finishing another Geno job in Mattawa, I think, next, and then he's coming to Mapton after that.
Okay,
So.
very good.
Yeah,
Very good.
should be good. Good, excited to finally see that project go to construction. This is great.
Yeah, man, it's been enough time for it to get going. So, yeah, it'll be exciting.
Yeah.
See the pretty
Really,
sidewalks and then the nice street.
really stoked about the park and ride funding as well. That's really exciting.
Right.
Kind of a unique project, and it took a unique approach to get it funded. But it's looking like we're probably going to get there. So.
Right, I know, I'm very, very excited about it.
Yeah,
That
no,
was a
that's
project
great.
that was like a big if, you know,
Yeah.
maybe.
Yeah.
So to see it actually
Yeah.
come, that's cool, because it was a big maybe. You know,
Yeah,
it's good.
absolutely. Absolutely. No, congratulations. That's really exciting.
Yes, it is. Okay, well, thank you very much, Shaman. And I
Yeah,
guess if we'll go ahead and close the session
Thank you.
at 7:20.
All right. Thank you.